The professor's lesson. One day, a university professor in the business management department walked into his classroom. He had an important lesson to teach his students about time management and priorities. But instead of giving a long lecture, he decided to show them a live demonstration. The students watched as the professor placed a large, empty bucket on the table. Then, he took out several big rocks and carefully placed them inside the bucket, one by one. When no more rocks could fit, he turned to his students and asked,
"Is this bucket full?"
The students looked at the bucket and replied, "Yes." The professor smiled and said,
"Are you sure?"
Then, from under the table, he pulled out a small bag filled with pebbles. He slowly poured the pebbles into the bucket, shaking it slightly so they could fill the spaces between the big rocks. Again, he asked,
"Is the bucket full now?"
One student hesitated and said,
"Maybe not."
The professor nodded, pleased with the answer. Then, he took out a bag of sand and poured it into the bucket. The fine grains of sand slid smoothly between the pebbles and rocks, filling even the tiniest gaps.
"Is the bucket full now?"
He asked again. The students, now unsure, hesitated before answering. "No." The professor smiled and reached for a jug of water. He poured water into the bucket, letting it soak through the sand, pebbles, and rocks until it overflowed. He looked up at his students and asked,
"Now, what is the lesson in this experiment?"
One eager student raised his hand and answered,
It means that no matter how busy our schedule is, we can always find time to fit in more if we work hard and manage it well.
The professor nodded.
That is a good answer, but it is not the main point.
He then explained.
This experiment teaches us something very important. If we do not put the big rocks in first, we will never be able to fit them in later.
The classroom fell silent as the students thought about his words. The professor continued.
The big rocks represent the most important things in your life: your education, your dreams, your family, your happiness, and your health. If you focus on the small things first, like pebbles, sand, and water, you will fill your life with minor distractions and never have space for what truly matters.
The students nodded, now understanding the deeper meaning of the experiment. The professor looked around the room and said,
Tonight, or tomorrow morning, ask yourself this question: what are the big rocks in your life? What are the most important things you need to focus on?
He continued.
If you do not take care of your big rocks first, your life will be filled with small, unimportant things, and you will not have room for what truly matters. But if you focus on your big rocks first, everything else can fit around them.
The students left the classroom with a new perspective, thinking about their own big rocks, and how they could prioritize their time better. Now it is your turn. What are your big rocks? Is it your education? Your health? Your dreams? Your family? Your happiness? Take a moment to think. Write them down. Start today. Make space for what truly matters before your life fills up with pebbles, sand, and water. Put your big rocks first.